everybody. Welcome to today's NorthXshow Quickie. It's Wednesday, or as they call it, Hump Day, a name that I hate. Just about to get onto Highway 13, heading west, heading for home, just outside of Wahpeton, North Dakota. Today on the Quickie, sticking to my ban on politics and all things political, at least for the week anyway. I wanted to bring this subject up to you guys and see what you thought about it, both men and women. And here's the subject: are there any real men left in this country? Now, we could probably argue and discuss for quite a while, and I actually hope to do that this Saturday at 9 o'clock on the Northern Exposure Show with your calls. I'm going to need some help this weekend because I'm probably going to be by myself. So if you're not doing anything Saturday night at 9, be by your computer, your smartphone, anything that might be connected to the internet so you can actually tune in, get in the chat room, and hopefully call in and let me know what you think about this. But real men, are there any left? As I said, we could discuss what constitutes a real man for quite a while, I think. I have some opinions. I'm sure you do too. And as I said before, I'm sure both men and women have differing opinions on what a real man is. I happen to think that there aren't a lot of real men left. You look around today at what we're seeing in the news and even in sports. You know, it's just there's a mentality out there that is, from my perspective, pretty removed from what real men used to be. I mean, now we could go back into the 50s, the 40s. We could go in just about any decade, and well, that's when men were men. Yeah, and that's when men beat the shit out of women and got drunk and cheated on their wives. That's been going on. That goes without saying. That's been going on for a long time. Any period in time. You can go back to the beginning of humanity. Cain and Abel. Hello. I mean, people aren't perfect, so we all know that. But the standard is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about what is the standard for a real man. I'll throw a couple of mine out there. One of my standards for what constitutes a man being a real man is you don't mess with other guys' women. That's real. I wouldn't say number one, but that's up there on my list. And I guess you could kind of throw that in the whole man code category. There's a code we kind of live by, supposedly. Some of us do. A few other examples of what constitutes a real man. You don't, obviously, you're not abusive to women. You're not physically violent with them. I mean, we could go back into the old movies from the 40s and 50s, and I laugh because it is funny. If you watch some of the clips on the internet, on YouTube and stuff, there are montages from movies in the past where men are cracking women upside the head left and right, and it was perfectly acceptable in those days. So again, men aren't perfect, but what's the standard for a real man? Chivalry. Let's talk about that for just a quick second. Open a door for a lady. Whatever. Just stand in front of a truck that's going to come by and spray mud all over this lady on the sidewalk. How many guys would do that nowadays? Seriously, stop thinking about that. You're on the sidewalk. You see it. It's wintertime, North Dakota. Thank God it's not winter yet. I'm not ready for that. But in North Dakota, we got slushy water alongside the road, and you see a truck coming down, and here's a woman walking on the street. And you're a guy, and you turn and you're watching this whole scenario take place, and you have a matter of seconds to realize that this lady's probably going to get splashed with ice-cold, muddy, icy water. Do you yell at her to get out of the way? Do you actually run up and grab her and move her aside to save her from getting sprayed? What do you do? Well, I can tell you what I think a lot of guys would do, and I'm calling out my own gender in this quickie right here. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm calling out men. I think most guys would probably whip out their camera phone and shoot video to be the next viral video star. I think there's women that would do that. I think there's women that would to hell with their own gender. They're not going to go pull some lady out. They're going to go, oh my God, watch, this lady's going to get splashed. I mean, that's our mentality now. In a lot of ways. And so, I don't know. I guess I heard something that's got this whole thing churning in my head today, and as I was trying to think, what am I going to do the quickie on today? This is what came to my mind. So I'd like to talk about this more on the show, and especially I'd like to hear from you women. I'd like maybe get something going on Facebook where we can have a real men ... real men don't ... I mean, something like that where we can actually. I'd like to get some input from both sides, especially from you ladies. I want to know what you think makes a man a real man. I think feminism has affected our ability to be real men. We're afraid to, some of us are afraid to be real men nowadays because of what we're going to get in return from some women. Not all. And again, I can't make blanket statements about everybody. But in general, I think there's a lot of that goes on too. The environment nowadays, it's hard to be a real man, whatever that is. All right, so there you go. That's the quickie for today. NorthernExposureShow@gmail.com. As always, you can go to the website, NorthXshow.com. That's where you can see our last show from last weekend, and you can also watch the quickies right there, right below the show as well. So again, tune in this Saturday at 9 o'clock. Open phones. This will be one of the many subjects we're going to talk about, along with hopefully having a few guests on the phone as well. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow.